Let's talk witness protection.
What?
Oh my God, please God, no.
What the hell is it?
I mean, at least Judas didn't go into any apostle protection program.
I can't tell you much about the Apostle Protection Program, but I can talk a little bit about that other program we hear about quite often on The Sopranos. The Witness Protection Program.
Oh my God.
Where's that detective's number?
The Witness Security Program was authorized by the Organized Crime Control Act of 1970 and amended by the Comprehensive Crime Control Act of 1984.
We're offering your husband full immunity from prosecution. Locate you and your family. You'll be completely safe, all of you.
The law allows the government to relocate witnesses in official proceedings brought against persons involved in organized criminal activity or other serious offenses where it is determined that a crime of violence directed at a witness is likely to occur. The U.S. Marshals Service provides 24-hour protection to all witnesses while they're in a high-threat environment. Witnesses and their families also typically get new identities and documentation, and they may, at first, receive financial assistance for housing, basic living expenses, and other things along the way before they can become self-sufficient again. Each person over 18 years old must undergo a psychological evaluation when applying for the program, which the government then takes into account when making an overall decision to admit or reject an applicant.
Dysfunction this, and dysfunction that, and dysfunction my fungal.
An applicant for the program must complete a form summarizing the testimony to be provided, any other evidence of their cooperation with the government, the threat to the witness from testifying, and any risk the witness could pose if and when relocated to a new community. 3 organizations manage the program.
Always comes in threes, huh?
The U.S. Marshals Service,
Federal marshals are so far up my ass I can taste brill cream.
the U.S. Department of Justice,
Can't blame it all on the Justice Department.
and the Federal Bureau of Prisons. In order to be admitted into the program, all potential witnesses undergo intensive vetting by the agencies that are part of the program.
What do you want to do, Carmela? You want to move to Utah? Be Mr. and Mrs. Mike Smith? We could sell some Indian relics by the road. Maybe start a rattlesnake ranch.
Hey, go away! Go!
So according to the government, the Witness Protection Program has to date protected around 19,000 people.
Tell me about Costa Mesa. Nice place to live?
Around here? It's dead.
Madame de Stael said, in life one must choose between boredom and suffering.
So let's talk witness protection and The Sopranos. We'll start with Fabian Febby Petrulio.
You took an oath, and you broke it.
Apparently he entered the Witness Protection Program, but then got kicked out, and he now lives in Maine.
Tony!
Yeah.
He'd changed his name to Fred Peters, but no name change was going to save him after Tony spotted him at a gas station in Maine while taking his daughter, Meadow, on her college tour. And Febby didn't exactly help his cause by putting up a sculpture of Ronald Reagan in his shop that could be seen very clearly from the store window, and that Tony knew had been a hobby of his. So for a real-life Febby Petrulio, there was a man who returned to Connecticut in the 1970s for a funeral, and he decided to stop by his old house, which had actually been booby-trapped. So when the man arrived at his old house and unlocked the door, he unknowingly detonated a bomb that went off and killed him. You know what they say? Curiosity killed the rat.
You Parmesan sandwich.
He vanished into the Witness Protection Program. It's the truth. Right, Janice?
Your Uncle Richie. Suppose he's in the program, too? He is. Isn't he?
So where does Richie live now?
On a hill. Overlooking a little river.
Oh, pussy!
What happened to Sal Bombenciero, Tom?
Witness Protection.
Thinking about taking some courses while I'm in the camp. Psychology, criminology. Maybe go around and give lectures at police departments on OC.
That's an idea.
You can be in prison and be in the Witness Protection Program at the same time, but if you're in state custody, the state has to allow you to serve out your sentence in federal prison.
What do you know about Scottsdale?
Arizona?
Yeah, I was thinking I would pick there to live when this assignment is over.
Assignment?
You know, when I'm in witness protection. They got more than 300 days of sunshine, golf, giant spring training. Naturally, I'm talking about after I do my 2 years in Lewisburg.
And our reach schools, University of Arizona and Arizona State.
You're up next.
Yeah, I just want to watch.
You gotta snap out of this, Anthony.
We'll take it up with Pussy. If you can find a fat fuck, wherever the feds put him. I took in Arizona. You know, Steak got all the TGI Fridays. He loves their wings.
We get ourselves a couple of phony passports, and we hightail it to some foreign country.
Arizona?
He loved Pussy Bompensaro. What happened to him?
He went in the witness protection program.
Dwight? He went into the program? You know anything about that?
No.
I think we would have heard.
I always wanted a house by the ocean.
Another person in real life who entered the witness protection program at one point is Salvatore Sammy the Bull Gravano. He was released early from prison and he entered the witness protection program in, guess where? Arizona. But he left the program early in 1995. Now, moving on to other folks who'd considered witness protection. Adriana Lacerva and Christopher Moltisanti.
Hello.
He wants to do it.
Great. When are you coming in?
A couple of more hours. We're just getting some things together.
We can't say for sure how seriously Christopher had considered the idea of starting over completely new with Adriana, but any consideration he'd given it seems to go out the window after he sees a young family packing into a small car outside the gas station. So starting over with Adriana, whether or not it involved kids, just wasn't in the cards.
Devil may call you when he thinks it's time.
Adriana, this is a way out for you. You have your whole life in front of you. We'd like to see you two have a chance.
We should think about our offer. It's not a bad deal.
On average, people in the witness protection program tend to receive about $60,000 from the government before they're expected to become self-sufficient with their new lives and new identities. Now, what if you get into witness protection and then you're like, fuck this? Well, you can go. You can leave. You probably know the name Henry Hill. He inspired the movie Goodfellas and entered the witness protection program after being arrested for drug trafficking. Henry Hill and his wife were removed from the program because they kept getting in trouble with the law. But even though he was no longer protected by a new identity, he was never killed or retaliated against by the mafia. So as a whole, what makes The Sopranos and witness protection particularly relevant is not just the fact that the witness protection program was established to help prosecute the mafia and members of organized crime. There's also this larger question of identity on The Sopranos, the who am I, where am I going part, which really connects with witness protection in the sense of identity and who you are and who you want to be in this life. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, comment, and subscribe to Sopranos Blueprint. And stay tuned for the next Sopranos Legal Blueprint.